everyone, my name is Veronica, and I am so happy to be with you on this podcast. Today I'm going to be answering 3 questions submitted by listeners. It's really easy if you would like to have your questions submitted. Simply download the Anchor app and find me at VeronicaIsles. Then all you need to do is send me a voice note, and I will add your question to the queue. Hopefully your question is answered today. Thanks for listening, and if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, VeronicaIsles.com is the place to go. I also have a successful YouTube channel, and these podcasts are replayed there as well. Okay, so let's get to question number 1.
Hey Veronica, I have been with my boyfriend for almost about 9 years, and I don't know what happened wrong, what went wrong, but this time he told me that he don't want to be us together, and I don't. He said that his parents won't agree, and so he cannot marry me. I don't know what to do. I want him to love me the same way that I do, and I can do anything for him, anything. I just want him to do the same thing for me. Please help me. What should I do? Should I go forward and talk, or should I wait? Should I wait him to come to me first? Please help.
I'm happy to help with your situation. Now, I'm really sorry to hear that things went wrong with your boyfriend and that he said he doesn't want to be together with you anymore. I do think that you can turn this around, but I think that your biggest mistake that you are making right now is the fact that you will do anything for him. You want to be with him, but you feel he doesn't want to be with you. So number 1, you mentioned that you would do anything for him. You need to start reshaping this, start realizing that you can have someone feel the same way about you. Now, if it feels too difficult right now due to the current circumstances to feel that he will do this for you, you need to at least welcome in this idea that someone who you adore can also do anything for you. I would stop imagining or stop sort of making this plea that you will do anything for him. Instead, you want to imagine him doing everything for you or just having things being done for you in general. So it's as if right now you're trying to give, and he's just rejecting it, which is usually the case. It's as if you are disregarding yourself in a lot of ways and dismissing yourself, which is probably why this rejection is happening. And once you start to recognize this, once you start to recognize that you are someone who is worth having someone else do everything for, you will probably turn it around very quickly. As you said, you were together with him for 9 years, so clearly the relationship had been working for a good chunk of time. I do think you can resume this with this one key element. Instead of reaffirming that you will do anything for him, you start to say that I am someone who is worth having someone earn. You don't just want to be freely available to him when he's ready to take you back. Instead, this feeling that he can earn you, do anything for you, and have this relationship be balanced. Now, the other key element that you want to focus on is this idea of him being able to love you in the same way. Clearly, he did at one point, so start to remember a time when you knew he loved you in the same way, or even when you knew he loved you more. Again, you have lots and lots of memories that you can draw from, so this is good. But I think anyone else listening can also do this. This feeling of you want to stop reaffirming that you want something and he wants the complete opposite. This is a really common mistake that a lot of people make in terms of manifesting, and then they wonder why the person keeps doing the opposite. Now, definitely don't contact him. And don't wait around for him to contact you. I want you to pick up your life, start seeing yourself as someone lovable, someone who is worth earning, someone who is marriage material. And this is going to be the key thing that is going to bring you back together and is going to give you everything you possibly could want.
Hi, Veronica. So I have a question. There's this guy that I really like, and we actually went on a date in January, and the date went so well. I think we've got a lot of chemistry. We even shared a kiss, and it was just a really great date. He even seemed excited, and he was like, "We should definitely hang out again." And well, to keep it short, I haven't heard from him. I know he had a trip and he was kind of busy, but I just been a little bit like freaking out because I really want to see him again, and I know that anxiety is probably not manifesting him the right way. But what can I do to just manifest him the right way and make sure I hear from him again, because I really want to see him.
I'm happy to help. Now, I think that this situation is really common, that when you meet up with someone and it goes really well, you want to ensure that you get to see this person again. And if you haven't heard from them, you start to panic, especially thinking that, it was one-sided and that this person is somehow rejecting you. Now, one of the best things that you can do is when you don't hear from someone right away, not to label it as a rejection, not to say that this person is avoiding you or that they lied or that they don't want the same things. You want to, come up with an assumption or a story in mind that still supports you being with them. So you want to see this person again. I would exist in the great memories of what it felt like to have chemistry and try not to prove these points to him in your mind. So for example, you want to settle upon this idea of having chemistry. You kissed, you shared those wonderful, beautiful moments, and these are things that are fact, they're truth. They're not things that you are trying to prove to him as to why you should go out on another date or why you should hear from him. Now, you can manifest him in the right way. I would work on soothing yourself, comforting yourself, also using the mantra that the things that you want in life also want you. So it's this idea of being the winner instead of someone who is going to be disappointed. Now, I would try to use this as a moment to boost yourself up. Instead of making sure you hear from him again, say things like, why wouldn't I hear from him again? And why wouldn't he want to talk to me? So you are redirecting everything upon yourself instead of placing him on this great pedestal as if you have to hear from him, almost as validation that, he can desire you. Decide to yourself that you are someone who is a great catch. You are someone who is worth earning, worth fighting for. So it's almost like instead of you being there waiting on him, being available at his beck and call, instead you think of him as, doing something fantastic to convince you to go out on another date with him, not the other way around. So be really careful of these thought patterns that signify that this person is like the greatest thing that ever happened to you and that you need this person so badly. Instead, think of yourself as someone who can be earned. And yes, he was wonderful, but think of yourself as being able to choose from many wonderful people. So it's not like he is the one and only. Because when you think of someone as the one and only, then you tend to get anxious because you say to yourself, well, if it doesn't work out, I will be forever lost. So we want to put less emphasis on him as being that special and putting more emphasis on you being that special. Okay, let's get to question number 3.
Hello, Veronica. I'm very happy to be asking you this question. So I've been watching you for a while, and I actually manifested my specific person when it actually seemed impossible. So, like, such a far reach for me, but I did it. It took me a long time, but I did it. And long story short, we dated for a little bit, and then we broke up for my lack of self love. I created it, and I'm trying to get back in there, trying to manifest him back. I did manifest contact with him again, but now I struggle with intrusive thoughts and thinking third party things. And I also think it has to do with me stalking him on social media. Do you have any advice or affirmations that can help me while I have my intrusive thoughts, and advice to help me stop checking on him? Thank you so much.
So I'm happy to answer this question, and I hope it will bring a lot of clarity and a lot of help. I think it is wonderful that you have proof that you manifested someone when it appeared to be impossible. And every single time you get somewhat anxious, I want you to remind yourself of this fact that you actually did it. And anyone else listening to this can also use this as proof, as someone else manifested their specific person when all seemed impossible. So see, it happens. Okay, so the fact it took you a long time. That's okay. You got there anyway. For some people, it might be short. In fact, manifesting him back could be short, entirely short. I would not focus on the breakup. The fact that you recognize that it was a lack of self-love will help you. A lot of breakups happen in this way. I would say that this is a huge mistake that people make. But the fact that you recognize it, you can fix it. You made a mistake, but it doesn't matter. You can fix it. So that's all that matters. Now, intrusive thoughts. This is something that tends to confuse people because they think that these intrusive thoughts are like the plague and they end up festering inside of them and then multiplying at such a fast rate when you're giving them way too much credit than they are worth. Intrusive thoughts do not have to manifest. Intrusive thoughts are not the boogeyman. Intrusive thoughts are not something that you need to erase or get rid of or clear or delete. You do not have to replace intrusive thoughts with positive thoughts. In fact, I wouldn't recommend this at all. So when an intrusive thought comes in, such as a third party, I'm not sure if there was a third party or if you're just worried about a third party, but this is a common intrusive thought. I want you to try to not react, not even rush to get rid of it. Not even rush to say an affirmation such as you being, the best and the only choice. Let's just let it be. Let's let it hang out. Let's let it show you that it's not actually scary. Let's just have you stop reacting to this idea of a third party. If you do want to say an affirmation, I would say a comforting words of releasing resistance, such as, even if there was a third party or even if there is a third party, I can still have my result regardless. That the idea of a third party cannot harm me, it cannot take away what I ultimately want, it cannot delay things, it has no power over me whatsoever. And when you say an affirmation like that, you realize how unimportant the idea of a third party is. So that intrusive thought no longer bothers you in the same way. It's not the boogeyman. It's not something to be rid of. Like, it just doesn't matter because you can have it regardless. So who cares? We do have to, though, address the part about the social media stalking. Ask yourself, if you were in this perfect relationship, would you have the time to be checking your specific person out on social media? And the answer is clearly no. In fact, anyone that's had a successful relationship and you're together with this person, you realize how little time you spend on social media and how much it doesn't matter at all. So if you are trying to emulate the end result and you want to actually be with this person, it will give you a clear wake-up call as to why you cannot stalk them on social media. You cannot spend time checking up on them. If you do, you will constantly be in this loop where you will never actually get to be with them, because you are insisting upon a behavior that signifies that you are separate, you are apart, you are not together. So you have to pull yourself away from that and say to yourself, what am I trying to accomplish? What will this do? It will do nothing. Okay. So I hope this helped. Thank you so much for listening. I hope your question was answered today. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, VeronicaIsles.com is the place to go. Also, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, subscribe to me there as well, and have an amazing day.